Hello, this is Joey, and I'd like to talk to you about interesting things in geometry or in mathematics. Okay, so let's start with point. So, point has no dimensions, it means it doesn't have anything that you could measure, like length, width, or height. Okay, and then it also shows a particular location on a plane or in a space. Now, let's take, for example, this piece of paper. When you name the point, you use a letter. So in this particular piece of paper, let's take that as a plane. Okay. And now, when we use the point, we just indicate this particular location. So this could be point A. This one could be point B. Okay. But when you use a letter to indicate this particular location on the plane, you can no longer use it for another location. You can't use this as point A anymore because this is already point A. So you say this is point C, for example. And that's how you name the point. Our next topic will be about line. So what is a line? Line is the pathway of a moving point. So let's take, for example, this particular point. Now, if it goes towards the right, it goes endlessly there. So that could be point starting at A, and it could also end at this particular point, point B. Okay. So if it ends there, let's just remove this part there. Okay, next. Now, a line does not necessarily have to be just a straight line. It could be wavy lines. It could be zigzaggy patterns. It could also be broken lines. And when you name a line, let's take this one for example, you say that this is line A, B, because it started at this point A and it ended here at this point, which is point B. So we aptly name it line AB. Now I mentioned that a line can go endlessly at one direction. So if it starts here, it could go all the way to the right side. Okay, it could also go all the way to the left side. Until we say that it started somewhere and ended somewhere, a line could go extend all the way to infinity towards the right, and it could also extend all the way to the left. Okay. The next thing we are going to talk about is a ray. So a ray, that's also a line, but it originates in a particular point. Okay, let's say for example that this is point A, and this one could go all the way towards the right side to infinity. Okay, and so we say this could be ray A. Now it is important to talk about the ray. Okay, a ray could also be like starts here point B and extend all the way to infinity towards the left side. Okay, now it is important to talk about rays because I am going to introduce to you the next thing, which is our angle. Now what is an angle? Angle are two rays that intersect or they meet at one point, which is called the vertex. So let's say this is point A, and then one ray could go that way, another ray could go that way. But the point where they intersect or meet, that's what you call your vertex. And when you measure angles, you measure them. Yes, you use degrees. Okay, let's just say, I don't know exactly how much this measures, but we have a tool that measures angles, and that's the protractor. Let's take a closer look at protractor. Okay. Okay, now this protractor, you can measure angles starting from this is your point of origin. This is the vertex. Okay. Or because a whole lot of rays intersect with this one. So you can see that you can measure angles starting from the right, going all the way around towards the left. Or you can also measure angles starting from the left side, going all the way to the right. Now in my particular illustration, let's try to see if I could measure the angle that I drew on this board. Let's see. So I put the vertex. I put this point here, and then I align this line here. It starts from 0, and well, it's a crooked one, but still, yeah, it's more or less about 29 degrees. So for you to name that angle, so we just put this one and then we say 29 degrees. Okay. So now how do you name an angle? So this could be, let's say it's a line. So this is, let's say this point is B and this one here is C. So we can say angle BAC. Okay. Or we can say angle A in reference to the vertex. But this is a much more acceptable format. Let's see. Angle BAC. Angle BAC. So you also put in that order the letters, putting A in the middle, which indicates that this is the vertex. Or you can simply say angle A in reference to the vertex. So that's an angle. Now I'm not going to touch on the types of angles for the moment, but we're going to use this concept so that we can talk about triangles.